sort of similar. Earlier in December, you said that the state had spent about $1 billion at the southern border over the last 3 years, that the state was not in a position going forward to continue doing that. Does that still hold true? Does that money completely stop? Has there been any assurances from the federal government they will help?
We've had, I couldn't, well, let me back up. It is true, the state of California has absorbed about $1 billion. It depends, we've appropriated a little over $1 billion, actually. Not spent yet, but appropriated. Includes the fiscal year moving in over the course of the next few months. We're not anticipating that we can, in this budget, absorb those costs going forward. Now, here's 2 points that are important to make. One is we don't believe, in some respects, it's necessary, and in this respect in particular, that we have some very intensive, highly medically focused sites that we stood up during the peak of the pandemic, where we did something. Someone needs to tell that guy Sean Hannity, who's out there saying we never test anyone comes over the border. I mean, these guys make stuff up. We were testing people coming over the border, and we were vaccinating people coming over the border. I was hearing them last night just go off. We have to get that off my watch list. But it's important to know what they just make up. So we were testing people. These are what they call TVRC sites, these testing vaccination resource centers. And so those are very intensive. They're medically focused. As we move past the most acute parts of this pandemic, we don't think we have to be at that level of intensity. So we're already looking to phase those out. And then we would look to stack a framework of focus on the most vulnerable. So there's a different spend. There's a different strategy. That said, even in that strategy, there's concerns around a post-Title 42 world. Now we have to recalibrate as it relates to the proposal on parole that the president just made over the weekend, and assess what that means or does not mean in terms of our burdens coming across the border. We have had, to your question around the Biden administration, some remarkably good conversations. And I say remarkably because there's renewed energy and focus in this space, demonstrably so with the president's visit to the border and his own announcement prior to that visit and his current time in Mexico, that give me confidence in the partnership moving forward and resources presenting themselves anew. So the budget lays out less intensive investment, but under the criteria of those 2 points of consideration. We don't need to be as intensive on the medical vaccination and testing side, and we anticipate federal support.